What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a new knife review for you. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, today I got a new knife in from Vosteed. I'm really excited to check out the new Marten. This one here is a more budget-friendly version that feels very premium. I really like that they are doing this type of offering. You're getting 154 cm. You can get it coated or uncoated. This has the black washed blade. Aluminum thumb studs done very nicely here. You have aluminum scales with beautiful milling pattern on it. Aluminum button that has the matching milling pattern on it as well. You do have a lanyard hole with an aluminum backspacer, and you have, I believe it's a steel fold over clip. Yeah, steel fold over clip. I just wanted to make sure I remembered correctly. That is reversible. All of this for under $100. So very nice to see that. You do have steel liners on the inside here that have been milled out for weight reduction. We'll check that out later in another video that I do the disassembly on. It has their top liner lock on here, which is a compression style lock with a button. Detent ball makes this have an actual detent, unlike traditional plunge locks. Those do not. So you get a very nice, very snappy detent with very good action on here. Came nice and centered out of the box, and I took it downstairs to do some cutting with it in the garage. Tested it on the catalog paper, and it was, fresh out of the box. Felt a little jagged, felt like it needed to be stropped up a little bit, but we went ahead and moved on over to the cardboard, and no surprise, very thin blade stock, very slicey blade, cut through there very well. And I did go ahead and do a little bit of pinch grip cutting, tabletop cutting with it to do some detailed work, and that worked very well too. Now I will say, it isn't necessarily the sliciest geometry or the thinnest geometry I've ever felt, but it is thin and also still thick enough to feel robust, like it could handle some hard use cutting. I did like the ergos on here. I didn't feel the pocket clip at all. I was able to choke up, getting the finger just behind there in that mid trigger position, so in between the knuckles, so I'm able to cut with it just like so. When I want to hold on to it, if I needed to get a better grip and I drop back, I'm 3.5 fingers on the knife, so a little bit of a smaller knife for me personally. Also, I love the fact that we're now seeing Vosteed on some of their models push that pocket clip way out to the edge there, so you get a true deep carry fold over pocket clip. I will make note, and I do want to advise, I did test this the other day on the live stream because I hadn't been paying attention, and because they did not go with nested screws for whatever reason, and you do see that they do that. Here is a hedgehog that we'll bring out for size comparison later. They nested it into the pocket clip, not a nested pocket clip, but the screws are nested into the pocket clip. That prevents it from going all the way in and being deep carry. Again, I very much enjoyed the ergos. Very positive detent on here. You can see I skidded off of there, even though I do like these thumb studs very much, but that detent is very well tuned. I like it a bunch. It did originally back out on me a little bit, so I did get some side to side play, but I tightened it up just a little bit more than factory, so it's a little stiff right now. I'm hoping when we do the disassembly in another video later, that will help cure that a little for me. Let's do some size comparisons and then we'll weigh the knife. All right, so we have the Manix 2 Lightweight on the table, and we have the Kaiser Nice Guy in 154 cm on the table. I wanted to do a more familiar full-size knife and then a smaller knife that I do like to compare ergonomically to. So you get a little bit better of a forge choil on the Nice Guy than you do on the Marten, but still really comparable sizes. Let's do a couple more size comparisons and then we'll weigh the knife. All right, guys, I wanted to bring out a couple of my favorite Vosteeds out here. On the top, you have the full-sized Kilo, and then you have the more compact Hedgehog. And again, something else I just wanted to make note of with this one here, you get a little bit more of a dedicated forward choil, and you get a landing spot here as well that you can put your finger on that really give you plenty of space for ergos, especially as you have, get into folks who have larger hands, and then you got a little bit more girth here to grab onto. So ergonomically, the Hedgehog's still a little bit better than the Marten, but the Marten does give you a forechoil, and it does give you space to grip onto. Let me grab the scale and pull that out here, and we'll check the weight on this guy. All right, we got the scale out here. Let's cut it on and check the weight on the Marten, coming in at 3 ounces even. That's pretty good considering that you have steel liners, you have aluminum scales with a steel pocket clip and steel hardware, all to keep the price down. That's not bad. I think that is a very respectable carry for everyday, or respectable weight for everyday carry, and I like that a lot. Let's go ahead and get the scale out of the way. All right, we got the spine whack tool out here. We're going to test this lock. This lock has fared very well every time I've tested it. All right, passed with flying colors. That doesn't surprise me at all. It is, again, that compression style lock, and if you're interested to see what that looks like, make sure you tune in for the disassembly video later. Always does a good job passing that, but we're going to go ahead and wrap up with the final score. I score on my channel from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Budget knives generally cap out at a 7. And that's just because materials will limit you. Here we got more higher end budget materials with the more affordable steel of 154 cm that really punches above its weight, truth be told, and then aluminum scales that are micro milled beautifully on here. I like that a lot. And then no issues with the steel fold over pocket clip for a knife under $100 with the aluminum back spacer. The things that I like on here, definitely the ergos, the detent, all check the boxes here. Very comfortable to use for a light duty EDC, something that's small and easy to carry. Adversely, I do wish that the forechoil was just a little bit bigger. I wish they could have scalloped this and made that so it was rounded out. I probably could go all the way up to the first knuckle, but when I do try to do that, I land right on the edge termination there, so I got to back it out a little bit and get a good angle to stay behind it, and even then I'm just behind it. Having said that, small, medium hands, this is going to be really good for you. It's going to fit very comfortably, even with the choked back position, probably going to work for you very well. Adversely, they could have just made this flat like they did on the Hedgehog. On the Hedgehog here, you can see with that flat spot, I can easily get all 4 fingers on there without using that forechoil. And then if I wanted to, I can move up to that trigger position for detailed work with that forechoil. And I can even go all the way up to right before the second knuckle before I get too close to that to the edge termination. And you would have had plenty of cutting edge. They gave extra edge here, so they could have extended it out to about here and match that edge that you have on the Hedgehog. I think that would have been a little bit better. But again, for a smaller, lighter duty EDC, I think it's just fine. No issues there. The other complaint that I do have is I wish they would have nested the screws into the steel pocket clip there so that you could take that deep carry pocket clip all the way in. Again, my jeans hit the top of that screw head and stop every time, and even trying to force it to go in there, there's a ton of resistance trying to do that with 2 hands. Love the lock mechanism. Good geometry thickness on here for, again, a light duty EDC. Not going to be the sliciest knife out there, but far from being the thickest. It's got a good factory edge. I did hone it up a little bit, and it's much better now that I've honed it. I like that. I love the fact that this one here has the pocket clip deep carry. I want to see that more and more. Keep it up, Vosteed. Good job there. I am going to go 6.6 on this one. Again, a little bit small for me, the pocket clip being the main issue. Outside of that, I like pretty much everything else on this. I would have either liked to have had a little bit more of a forechoil here, or I would have liked this to have been about a 1/2 inch bigger. That probably would have really solved it for me, being about a 1/2 inch bigger. Great action, good detent, solid locking mechanism. I'm glad to see that they're doing more of these top liner locks and those V-anchor locks that they've been doing, the pivot style lock. I like that. Clean, Very nice, minimal branding, very little billboarding here on the blade itself. They seem to be doing a good job with their 154 CM. All in all, just a really solid little EDC for under $100. So good job, Vosteed. Keep it up. Let me know what you think about this one down in the comments below. And if you're not into this one, just shout out and say hi and let me know what you're carrying. I appreciate it. Everything is linked in the description below for your convenience. It does help the channel when you use those links. So thank you guys for the support. A special thank you to my channel members. I'm out of here, guys. I hope you have a great week. Catch you next time. Peace.